very much. This is a very emotional and gratifying evening for me. There's three groups I've got to give thanks to. One is the people at the Petersen Museum. Both me and my wife Suzanne have had cars on display here on a number of occasions. We have 3 hot rods, and over the years they've been on display here. And the second group is, of course, the artists that have put this work together. It's been a real interesting existence that this art can come together like this. And then the third group that I'd like to thank is the people that have come here tonight, that have come to witness this and to weigh this and to test its worth. The art that shows here is, whether you like it or you don't like it, its test of time has been proven. 35 years ago, you could not have had a lot of this art. It was the academic art world was dominated by the orthodox rules of abstraction and abstract expressionism and conceptualism and minimalism, and it was very difficult to violate those rules. That anyone that took a great deal of pride in craftsmanship and draftsmanship and extreme imagination were just written off as illustrators. And that you find, if you look back into the 50s and 60s and 70s, the real talented artists that had facile skills were working in Hollywood and were doing comic books and were tattoo artists and whatnot, and they really didn't have a doorway into the fine arts world. And over a long period of time and a number of situations, this feral group of artists have formed, and they formed enough together that they could spontaneously call for a need for a publication like Juxtapoz. Prior to Juxtapoz, a year or two before Juxtapoz, there's a group of imaginative people, Craig Stesick and Greg Escalante, Suzanne Williams, and a few people put their heads together and went down to the Laguna Museum and convinced them to have an art show with all these feral outlaw artists. But they had to have a theme. They had to play like that there was something legitimate about them. So they thought, we'll make a car theme, and it was called Custom Culture. So the Custom Culture, the original show, was just a gimmick to get a lot of artists into a real museum, get some exposure that they had no chance of doing. And that Custom Culture show was just an enormous success, set attendance records. This was really the roots of Juxtapoz Magazine. Had its parentage really out of this group of stray artists and underground comics. Underground comics played an enormous part. The art out of rock posters and rock album covers, those artists were involved in early Juxtapoz. And all these very, very talented people that just really didn't have a chance down the street here, just found a home in Juxtapoz. And when Juxtapoz started out, it immediately was a great success. So this humble little magazine that the schools wouldn't allow their students to see, was the top-selling art magazine in the United States and on planet Earth. So what you're seeing here is an automobile-oriented art show that's got the essence of that very first show at Laguna. It's wild and a lot of the stuff's questionable, but believe me, it's been toned down here. Anyway, I will leave you to your own devices. Please go through it and look at it with a critical eye. That all this art will endure criticism. It's an art for the people. Thank you. Enjoy yourself.
brought me there, and you were you had
Rick Griffin died when I was painting this.
No.
Wow.
Wow, I remember you were painting, you were in the middle of it. It wasn't complete, but you were in the middle of it. And I walked in, it was in your living room on an easel, and you were like, and I'm, whoa. It was, and you told me about the tracks, the wood tracks.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Can I ask you a quick question? Does the number 397 on your car have any significance?
Yeah, it's how many days are in a slacker's year?